me about it.
So let's set the scene for this trip report. We have one additional person, I think, who's not normally there in the group. Yeah. So I suppose that throws things out a little bit from the off if you're used to a normal group of people and then you put someone else in the mix. So I wasn't feeling off or anything like that, but it was just slightly different dynamic. So my turn came, and instantly, because we'd been regularly moving into hyperspace at this time, the geometry was very quick to come and go, very quick, almost like it wasn't there, almost like you just slipped straight into that space. So instantly I'm on some sort of crossroads, and all this stuff is when you look back at it, you try and pick the information out the chaos, but it's almost metaphorical situations that you find yourself in these experiences that you can then look at. So ironically, a crossroads in my life is where I was at, but I was on a crossroad, and it was like a house, and this is in a sort of super hyper technological geometrical space, but definitely a crossroads and a house. And there was a woman, I perceived a woman who was very chaotic in the way she was conducting herself. She was moving around very quickly. She had crazy hair, she had wild eyes, and she was telling and wanted everybody to be quiet. So it was a little bit like, I quite like to liken the scenes of these DMT experiences to a film situation. And for me, what I thought about afterwards was that this is like that scene in The Sixth Sense with the little boy is camping in his lounge, and his parents are unaware that there are ghosts in the house, and he comes out of the tent to go to the toilet, and he runs into all sorts of ghosts along the way, and one of them is a crazy woman who's unaware of her craziness, but she wants to get hold of the little boy and so on. This was what this lady was like. She was crazy, wild-eyed, flailing hair, telling everybody to be quiet, shush, calm down, but in herself showing her utter panic and anxiety and chaotic mind space that she was in. And this is very relevant and poignant. Became more relevant and poignant further down the line in my life. So we're on a crossroads with a house with this woman, and then next to the woman a very small child with what I perceived to be at the time on a little tricycle with a red coat. And again, this is all sort of pictures in the mind coming into play whilst still in this geometrical DMT space. It's very difficult to explain, can't explain it. This was a breakthrough experience, beyond all magnitude of the word. So I'm in this space, but this is what's going on. House, crossroads, geometry, crazy, scary lady, frightening, quite frightening to me. I became very uncomfortable with her around. She was quite intimidating in her. She didn't mean to. I don't think she meant to be intimidating. She was, but she was just in her. The energy that she was giving off was quite scary. And the little child, and it was like they were mother and daughter. scary lady was scaring me, no two ways about it. I was becoming very uncomfortable with her around. She was really like bleh, scary, frightening. And then the roles switched. The little kid, hang on a minute. So it was like they were, almost like they were, I don't know, what came into my mind was like that they were ghosts, like a mother and daughter that had been killed in a car accident on this crossroads. That's what popped into my mind. And she was being hectic and crazy because a little kid had been killed. That is what popped into my mind. I later realised that wasn't the case, but that's what popped into my mind to start with. So the little kid then, I realised that the little kid has got blue skin, red coat, hood up, blue skin, and instantly my blue skin lady that I regularly come into contact with, I realised that this little kid was the blue skin lady in a different form, and she realised I was scared and sort of revealed herself to me that that's who she was, and that nothing was, I wasn't to worry about anything. This was almost, I was being shown a situation that later will be relevant, and I'll be able to pick it apart and realise what was going on. But as I was becoming more and more scared by this crazy lady, I couldn't concentrate on the child. The child, she was trying to say to me, stop being scared, stop being scared. This is just, you need to see this for whatever reason, but just stop. Until it got to the point where she's almost put her arm around my shoulder to give me a yank, to say stop, and to get my attention, which she did. So as I'm sat there, arm around my shoulder, shush, she says, shh, look in the box. Right, so then the scene has changed. The crazy lady is gone, and what is in front of me is a box, but not a box like a normal box. This was like the Ark of the Covenant box, which is an impossible array of geometric construction that I just still can't. It was something out of Tron. I can still see it, but I can't explain it very well. But it was a box. Yeah, and it was incredible how it was put together, what it was. It was moving, it was changing, it was interlocking. And as I looked at the box, inside the box was a swirling mass of impossible geometry, as McKenna would say, the Fabergé egg. And inside the egg was sort of swirling universes and serpents. And as I looked at what was inside the box, I went in through that portal with the child, shoof, and it opened up, and it was more impossible, and it became this Egyptian, pyramidic, galactic, don't know. So that's where the mind just shuts down and you just become part of whatever it is. But there was also an internal vision of me sat with the child, blue skin lady, in a sort of meditative position. She asked me to sit down. I looked in the box, and as we moved towards what was in the box, I sat down with her, and we were almost in a meditative state, floating, me and the child, me and the blue skin lady. She was concentrating, I was concentrating. Foof, we went into the box, which was this interdimensional wormhole, shoof, into whatever was there. It opened up, foof, we went in again, opened up, foof, and that's where it's obviously the peak of the experience, but you can't explain what that is. Completely out of body, completely interdimensional travel, whatever you want to call it. And then I just had a sort of realisation that I was sat. My the experience started to dampen down, and I realised my body was coming back, and I was sat in this office chair, and I had just completely gone, God knows where, with God knows who. But the experience became very, very poignant for me later in my life, and now looking back on it, it was a precursor for a period of my life that was going to become very turbulent. So yeah, that was it. It was good.